Big lawsuit to come down yesterday. The Trump administration is suing California over the state's transgender athletes policy, which the White House says violates Title IX. Attorney General Pam Bondi writing, quote, "The governor of California has previously admitted that it is deeply unfair to force women and girls to compete with men and boys in competitive sports. But not only is it deeply unfair, it is also illegal under federal law." Former California collegiate athlete and California Family Council outreach coordinator Sophia Laurie joins me now. Sophia, good morning to you. So this is certainly not the first lawsuit the Trump administration has filed to try and get transgender athletes out of women's sports, but this one is unique because the lawsuit uses Governor Newsom's own words against him when he called the California policy unfair. That was included in the lawsuit. So as a former athlete who played in California for 17 years, how do you feel about this?
I'm extremely grateful that we have an administration that's coming after Governor Newsom's CIF and the California Department of Ed. It's beyond embarrassing that they've chosen to die on the hill of allowing male genitalia to be exposed in girls' locker rooms and to allow girls to lose their right to safe and fair sports. So I'm very grateful they're coming against him and using his own words. He claims it's deeply unfair. He's deeply full of it. He's done nothing to save girls' sports.
And interestingly enough, the governor of California was in South Carolina this week talking to voters, could be a glimpse into his political future. And he was asked about this issue. Here's the latest of what he has to say about it.
My position is I don't think it's fair, but I also think it's demeaning to talk down to people and to belittle the trans community. And I don't like the way the right wing talks about the trans community. These people just want to survive.
So is he trying to have it both ways there, Sophia, admitting that it is unfair while failing to do anything about it despite him being the leader of his state?
That's what we've seen the entire time he's been governor. He says one thing, but he does nothing about it. He just wants to be president one day. And you know what's belittling? What's belittling is telling girls they have to share a podium with a male, telling girls they have to suck it up and deal with the chance of being injured on a field due to a male. Our governor is doing nothing for females in the state of California.
Okay, so also want to ask you about something else that's going on in California. It has to do with something Governor Newsom said. This Southern California bishop has shut
down the churches longer than any state. When we finally were able to go back to church, he told us we couldn't worship because of COVID, and then he was giving fines to churches that were opening, even though he continued to allow weed dispensaries and liquor stores and all those things open. And so want to talk about someone who is violating our religious freedom? It's Governor Newsom.
I wonder if he forgot about that 5 years ago. I mean, that's the only explanation for possibly having the guts to tweet something like that. Maybe he'll be asked about that. A rare decree excusing churchgoers from attending Mass out of fear of President Trump's immigration crackdown. And Governor Newsom tweeted, "Freedom of religion, not in Donald Trump's America. People now have to choose between their faith and their freedom." Your reaction to that comment?
Governor Newsom literally